Smoke shop owners, listen up. If your store looks like a garage sale, your customers won't take your product seriously. Presentation is everything, and Display-O-Rama gets it. These guys supply the fixtures that make stores money. Slat walls, showcases, racks, counters, all in stock and ready to ship fast. I've used them myself, and they deliver on time, solid gear, zero headache. Most people think upgrading means expensive. Well, that's wrong. Display-O-Rama makes professional retail affordable, whether you're remodeling one wall or building out your next location. So if you're tired of your shop looking halfway finished, hit DisplayOrama.com up today and get 5% off your order when you use my code ChadWade5 at checkout. Display-O-Rama, real fixtures, real fast, recommended by me, Chad, at ChadWade TV. Every time I see that, guys, every single time I remember that I had to redo that 3 or 4 times because I could not quit saying half-ass. I just could not. I couldn't quit. I ad-libbed it right into it. And, you know, there's a part into it. And anyway, I said that and I had to break myself of it. And I had to go back and redo it, you know, because other people were going to see that. But anyway, what's up, everybody? I'm glad everybody's up in here. I really appreciate it. And welcome back. I really do appreciate all y'all being here. Tonight, y'all, we need to talk about what's really happening in the smoke shop world. If you're not part of the Discord, if you are, you would already know this because I post news every single day. But in the last few days, it's been kind of heavy. And you got towns that are kind of replacing moratoriums, you know, with strict buffer zones. I mean, I don't know if you all are seeing that where you're at, but, you know, cities are spacing shops out. And I mean, like really spacing them out, you know, thousands of feet apart. Permit freezes are being extended. And cops are seizing pallets of illegal product as they coming in. More legislation is dropping that's targeting signage, believe it or not. And we're going to go over that. And they're also talking about, you know, like code enforcement for lighting and location. And on top of that, man, here we go again. The intoxicated hemp category is completely under fire. And I mean, a lot of lawsuits and like temporary bans and states pushing hard to restrict anything with a buzz, including Kentucky. Okay. And then out of nowhere, listen to this shit. You're just not going to believe this, man. Out of nowhere, the FDA is kind of hinting around with some language that they might authorize flavored vapes. Yeah, I'm serious. You heard that right. There is that language, and it's not a guarantee, but it's enough to make everyone kind of sit up and take notice. All right. So here's the mission tonight. We're going to break down what each of these stories really mean as best we can, you know, within conversation. And we're going to show how these rules could hit your store next. And we are going to make sure you know exactly how to protect your business if you know that's what you're looking to do, and your inventory and hell, your future for that matter. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. Let's see what we got, y'all. There's a whole lot going on, man. I mean, just a whole lot going on. And I'm glad to see everybody in here, man. I see Tip Top's in here. I see Beth's in here. Beth's, of course, first on the scene. You know, if you're new in here, you can. We encourage conversation. I don't care. We do not have a real structure. We kind of have a structure. You know, where we've got some articles we like to talk about. But I love getting into the conversation here on the side, where we can all really go one-on-one with each other. And because I'm finding, man, that the more we can talk about things, the better off things seem to be. And I sometimes get a whole lot from the Ohio crowd up there. And when they're in there talking and they're telling us exactly what's going on there, because Ohio and Kentucky kind of touch. and so we're kind of together on some things. And but we've had a hell of a fucking week, the last couple of weeks anyway. And I know you guys up there have too. But there, it's kind of happening everywhere. It's not just in our areas. I- the Discord I loaded up with articles this week. Just loaded them up in the news section. I like to check it out every single day. I like to report what's going on so that we all understand that it's not just one area. It's going on everywhere. And I guess honestly, we can jump right into it, Brandon, and get to the first one. I had two other articles, and I guess I could kind of talk a little bit about them. But when we went to open them back up, I guess we went through the free part of it. Now they're wanting us to pay for them, and I'm not going to be reading those articles like that. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. So Sammy here is talking about PA is about to pass HB 1425, and Sammy, exactly what is that? Tell us all about it. I'm sure the rest of the Ohio crowd in there knows, but he's in PA, so I don't know exactly what that is. I'm sure it's ugly. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. It refers to, well, that can't be right. It's a tobacco products tax reform. That's what it looks like here. Ban on all disposables and flavored products. Well, yeah, that would definitely screw you. That would definitely screw you. And so, yeah, that's what it looks like here too. Jesus Christ. That's that's bad. Well, I mean, man, honestly, it's kind of what it's coming to, and that's not. And I know that's not going to be a popular to hear, but I mean that is really kind of what it's coming to. I think the FDA was pushing towards that anyway, but I think they're going to allow it to be a states' rights issue. Kentucky is already moved towards that, but Sammy, to be honest, man, even though we are seeing that, there's no enforcement. We're not seeing any kind of enforcement for that yet. When they tell you you get your letter, you probably need to stop selling because they're aware of what you're doing. And I mean, at that point, I guess we as stores would have to do that as well. But they've already moved to do that here, and so much, in fact, that the wholesalers moved right across the bridge into Indiana in order to be able to sell them. And but they're only selling to Indiana and in that area. So if you don't have a store already set up in Indiana, they won't sell to you if you're in Kentucky. So I don't know what to do about that. But we don't sell a whole lot of them anyway, so it's really not such a big deal to us as far as our stores. I'm sure it is to you, Sammy, if that's what you guys are doing. Um, But I mean, I'm guessing the juices as well, the flavored juices. But let me ask you this. Oh, you're talking about all disposables. Does that also mean like the Delta disposables as well? Or is it just tobacco disposables? And I don't know the answer to that. So I mean, I just literally Google machined it. And so I I mean, when you say the words all, because they're flavored disposables as well, and I'm just wondering, plus, when you say all disposables, is that including the ones that are FDA authorized? And I'm wondering. They already raided a bunch of stores for Delta and flour here. Well, I mean, is flour and Delta illegal in your state? And I mean, I know it sounds like I shit all over flour, but I know what flour really is. And I also know that it's not legal. It's just not legal. And I know it sounds like I'm being negative about it, but it kind of is what it is when it comes to that. Everybody knows that the moment you put the fire to it, it becomes marijuana. I mean, it just is. But until then, I have to agree it's not. And but and then you can have all the labs you want to, because what they're going to do is test it. And the moment that they test it with heat, you're hit. I mean, you are literally hit. And again, I know that sucks. I really do. But I'm just wondering, like, again, on all your disposables, you're saying they're going to ban all the disposables. That's kind of not how I read this. I read it as they were going to set that up to it's more of a reform. Okay. For vape disposables, end products, some industry commentary says HB 1425 would effectively ban the sale of the large majority of vaping products currently on the market in Pennsylvania, because most are still awaiting FDA authorization or PMTA review. Yeah, well, that's kind of how they did here in Kentucky. So I totally understand that. But if it's only for tobacco, then you should be safe there. Wonder why they would raid for Delta and flour in the first place then. Was the Delta over the limit, over the THC limit? And honestly, Sammy, unless it was you, you might not ever really know. I'm not trying to jab with you or nothing, but I mean, that's what I always find is that, Brandon always says there's his story, her story, and the truth. And yeah, kinda. So, but we're not going to really know the truth other than what's reported on the news. And then we all know you can't trust that shit either, because that's their spin that they put on it in order to justify the robbery of a retailer. Hey, I'm drinking coffee, by the way, so don't think I got a great big mug full of bourbon. And just, you know, trying to detox that out still. And I'm doing pretty good with it. I have kind of backslid a little bit and had a little bit of tequila, and but no, not a lot. I'm not drinking nearly what I was, but I was trying to keep my voice right because I'm trying to make promos for TPE, the Total Product Expo that's coming up in March. They've got me coming out there and then sponsored me to come in. And so I'm making promos for them right now. And tequila tends to keep my throat correct. And I love the taste of it too. So anejo is the way to go. And so I have backslid a little bit for that, but we're not talking like I used to. So, but I'm still doing coffee. So when you see this mug, it's always coffee. I never let anything else go into it. This week, the calls for 7-0 have been insane. We never bothered with it though. Well, so we were going to talk about that probably later, but in Kentucky, our governor has swooped in on an emergency order, and so the cabinet for the family is welfare is is talking about this as well. But they're lying when you go back up, Brandon, scroll back up, because when you look at the article, it says move to ban kratom is how they keep talking about it in the news. And it scared the shit out of Jamie so bad, my wife, that she came running from upstairs down the stairs. I heard her, punching down the stairs, and she come in and she says, and she starts reading me the article. Well, as you read through the article, it's talking about the 7-0 product, but when she was read that headline, boy, it scared the shit out of her, because we sell a lot of kratom. We sell a lot of kratom, But 7-0, man, honestly, dangerous, dangerous as fuck. It's such a high concentrate, and it's adulterated at that. And it's the difference as in a Corvette and a Chevette, and both of them driving high speed. And it really does go into this a lot better in this article. And it talks about, there's even this woman that's leading the charge, and she's claiming that Kratom did this and blah blah blah. Well, it's not Kratom, it's 7-0 product that did her son or some shit and got him screwed up. And then there's all these people in the comments down into it about how they were addicted and Kratom had gotten them addicted. And that's a load of shit, man. If you're taking powders or capsules, like real powdered cap, you know what I'm talking about, not the 7-0 pill. If you take 7-0, you will be addicted pretty quick, because because they were talking about, how they always they call it what is it, gas station heroin, right? Yeah, yes, it is. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so and of course that nobody likes to hear that either, because they want to just stay fucked up and high all the time. But it's the truth. And if you don't sell it, good. If you do sell it, bad. But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I know stores have got to stay open, and I know that you've got to make it any way possible. But I really look for by the end of this month to be completely closed out here in Kentucky. And we know probably one of the largest distributors for 7-0 product here in the state, maybe even in the surrounding states. And if he'll let us know that when it's no, you can't sell that no more. And that's the end of that. And mainly because he'll move it across the bridge if they can sell it. I don't even know what Indiana does. But yeah, 7-0, it's everywhere. They're hitting it every single place. But anyway, I was telling you about these places over here. The other two articles I had, and they were talking about moratoriums and guidelines on where you could put your shop. And so that's becoming a big deal. And so apparently effective October 31st, 3,000 feet between smoke shops and cannabis retailers, and 500 feet from schools on top of it, or playgrounds or daycares or libraries or places of worship. And the hours have to be capped between 9 a.m. and I think like 11 p.m., right? And you had to have the proper signage, like minor entry, signage is being required. And that's pretty scary, man. That's pretty scary. And it's, if you're in that upper part of the country, like it, because this is in New England, and those towns are starting to do that, man. Those states are all kind of getting together about it, and they're doing like copy and paste buffer zones, right? And copy and paste hours. And so they're capping the time that you can be open. You got to pay the rent, but this is all you can be open. It's kind of like the mall, you know? And so then, then had another article from in Greenwich, and they're moving to limit the amount of smoke shops, not just how far apart, but the amounts. And their proposals that they've got going on is no shop within 1,000 feet of another shop, or 3,000 feet from a school. And depending on how they classify schools, like you could have like a daycare center with a pre-K classes, right? That's a school. So really start thinking about how far out, and remember, 3,000 feet in a circle of the school, right? So if they got a pre-class, a pre-K class, and you got to be within 3,000 feet of it. So in some churches, they have, kindergarten classes, they have pre-K classes, and there's another 3,000 feet. Otherwise, right, you had to be 3,000 from a church. You got to be 3,000 from a hospital. And they also define the smoke shop by the floor display space. All right. Existing stores apparently can stay as non-conforming, but the ones coming up, they are what they are. So if you are three doors down from the school and you've been there for 10 years, apparently they're not cutting you, but no one's moving in. No one. So you're going to be the game, okay? And so apparently this is like codifying these like cluster busting approach, right? And like, you know how you have one right down the street from you, or right across the street from you, or right down on the corner from you, right? They're not going to do that, man. They're not going to do that. They're putting a stop to that, and they're making it harder for you to expand another location, or to relocate the one that you got, right? Sammy says the new compound, some cordalis extract, a natural root extract that promotes relaxation, relieves pain, and reduces anxiety without causing a high. Kind of sounds like some mushroom stuff. Like, it kind of, I think that could be, but I mean, anything synthetic, guys. mm, I mean, you're looking at a very limited time with synthetic properties like that, Sammy. And here's what I'm always going to say about that. Um, Sell it until you can't. Okay. Well, yeah, oh God. See, there it is, man. When they're talking about it being legal ketamine, right? That's the wrong way to fucking do that, bro. The wrong way to do that. When me and Bella was at the last champ show, we were walking around, and they were talking about oh, what was that pill? There's a pill. They were selling a synthetic pill, but they were I don't know, but they had this T-shirt that was like, "Give me my whatever that pill, whatever that street name for that pill was," and can't remember what it was called. I tried to blank that shit out. And these real hot ass girls wearing these real tight fucking shirts was walking around with it, and they was handing out pamphlets, handing out samples of this shit, right? And you could get a freebie, and I wish I could remember what perk. Yeah, give me a perk. It was a Percocet, just like a Percocet, they said. And they were talking about them being the same strength as a Perk 10. And I thought, Jesus Christ, that's how you're promoting it. Well, now Sammy here has come on here, and he says it's being advertised as legal ketamine. Go, Sammy, go, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna judge you, man. If you got to sell it like that, that's fine, me, bro. I'm good with it. Way to go. I mean, bad, really, but if that's what you got to do to stay going, I can't say nothing. I really can't, because they've made it so hard on our industry, and so now we're fucked off. Where we are actually talking about this today as being legal ketamine, but and again, Sammy, I swear to God, I'm not kicking at you, but we talking about this, and that's how we have to promote it. But I guarantee you, Sammy, if you tell your customer, "Hey, man, it's just like legal ketamine," you broke the law. You broke the law by even saying that. If it's even on a poster somewheres, you broke the law. And they were selling those T-shirts about the perks. They were selling them, but that in the state of Kentucky, we have what's known as paraphernalia laws, like that, paraphernalia speech laws. And if we had wore those shirts within our stores and sold that product, that's a felony. And now, Sammy, I don't know about you guys. I don't know what y'all are doing over there. I know in PA, but I mean, you're a Commonwealth as well. I'm willing to bet you are in the same boat. So be leery of discussing anything to do with illicit things. I dig it, Sammy, but don't say you won't. Don't say you won't, because if everybody around you selling it, and it kills your sales for other product. And again, Sammy, I'm not kicking at you. I learned big lessons early in the game about saying I'm not. I mean, if you got a hard line and you say no, fuck it, I ain't gonna do it. I got you, bro. I understand, but Again, I think if I'm quoting you, I'm not even carrying it right now. I agree. Maybe, but maybe when there's 30 or 40 different kinds of it, maybe, maybe you will. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like Kratom, because I can remember when there was only three places you could buy Kratom, and now there's a blue million, 100,000 of them, and so everybody's got a different kind of Kratom they like to carry. Some they claim is more clean than others. Sure. It's just got great packaging. It just really does. Yeah, Sammy, I'm probably realistic to the point of being pessimistic, to be honest, man. I just don't, but I don't kid myself either, man. I don't kid myself about what's necessary, because you probably got employees. You might have a family, you might have a kid, you might have an old lady or something. And if you do, man, you're gonna have to take care of them. And I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not throwing rocks at you. So if you gotta make ends meet, who am I? I'm not gonna do that. Uh, I know what I'm capable of. I'm responsible for me. You're responsible for you and your stores, and you got to do what's right for you. And when it comes to paying your bills, and when it comes to paying your people, paying yourself, making sure your kids eating, I ain't throwing rocks, bro. I ain't doing it. But I understand that today, no, tomorrow, maybe, maybe. You know, when in Rome, when in Rome, man, do what's Roman do. Let me talk about this other place over in California, right? They are doing the same thing that's going on in New England, right? And they are doing, where am I here? Oh, yeah. They are doing here in Riverside, California. It extends the smoke shop permit freeze. All right. Like they continued this even further with a 10-month extension. So if you thought you was going to be opening in Riverside, you are sadly mistaken. All right. And they're doing studies, right? The city is, and they're studying illegal sales. And police have seized 80,000 illicit tobacco items from 13 shops this year alone, right? And now cities are apparently using freezes to buy time and then returning with tighter zoning and enforcement. And so they're tightening this down, man. Like they're getting tired of looking at this, and it's pretty fucked off. It is very very fucked off how they're doing, and we're seeing this from one end of the country to the other. So they are trying to absolutely squeeze you or push you out of the city limits into the county, and hopefully the addle-minded will go out with them. And so they'll go out into the county, they'll pick it up, because I don't think there's all those restrictions out there. If I'm reading these articles right, they push you out into the county, and so that you can be out there and you can find stores. And now I even also understand they're building strip centers out into the county, just over the county line, right outside of the city, and so that you could put stores in there, because they're making zoning harder for not just smoke shops, but for some other shops as well. And it looks like they're trying to do liquor stores like that in California the same. So, man, it's getting kind of weird, and kind of is what it is there. And I mean, things is just different, and that's kind of what I'm getting at here, is when I'm telling Sammy you're not going to do it today. I don't know. I don't know what you're capable of right now for all of us. I don't know what we're all going to have to do in the coming future, because things is getting kind of weird, and people are the economy's weird. The economy's very weird, and you just have to roll with the punches, and you got to do what you got to do to keep you going. And be prepared to pivot. Be prepared to carry some things in your shop you wouldn't have normally carried. I talked to a lady this week, and I mean, she is in the country, and I mean, like literally in the sticks. And her talking about something blowed me away that she said it. And she come into the warehouse, and because we've set up a front office now where our cash and carry is, and so we have a display areas now for all the products we carry. And so we hadn't had that. We've pivoted at the warehouse as well. And so we weren't using some of the front end space as effectively. So what we did was we set up a display area where you can come in and literally see damn near everything we carry. And if you're wanting to see the different flavors, we have all that up there as well. If you're wanting to see the different types, we have an example. Then we can take you in the back and let you see, some of the different types that we have as well. But this lady had drove up from a smaller county, and she was telling me that she had started selling anything, water pipe or all, with anime on it, anime characters. Anything with even Lilo and Stitch, or One Punch Man. When she said One Punch Man, she is so country. When she said that, I was like, what? What did you just say? And she said, the bald headed dude. And I'm like, oh yeah, yes, I do, but I didn't think you'd know it, and she's my age, but she don't even like to use a computer. And I thought to myself, how would she know that? Well, it's because she was buying things that would sell. And she said she could sell anything anime. And I said, are you selling action figures? She said, no, we haven't got into that, but I might have to. And she's talking about selling Labubus, which really it's Lafufus she's selling, and because they're not the real deal there. But she's thinking that she's going to start selling stuff along that lines to space out and bring more people in. And that also goes to say that that's where the crowd is moving to, is into the country, because the city has gotten weird. And so some of the, I don't want to say weirdos, but some of the others have moved out. Some of the more liberal minded, some of the more some of the different folks are going out now into the country and living a more simpler life and maybe be converted. I don't know. But she said she has gotten people in there with nose rings and blue and purple hair. And she said, that's becoming a very different place, and I'm telling you, man, that is country where she's at. I mean, country. Sammy's talking about thinking of turning half the shop into a pawn shop. Well, I mean, are you talking like gun license and crossbows and cameras and I mean, do you know a lot about cameras, and what about jewelry? Are you going to take in jewelry and stuff like that? I used to have a buddy of mine that ran a pawn shop, and I learned a lot from this dude as far as that, especially gold and how that worked. As a matter of fact, I had an opportunity before me and the wife were married, to he let me meet a guy who could design the ring I was looking for the wife. And we didn't have a lot of money. We probably had no business getting married. But anyway, I designed something a little different for her. And so it's always been pretty special to her. But this guy that was in the pawn business helped me get a hold of this guy to do this, because he knew a lot about jewelry. So he knew a lot about these people, and they were able to help me with it. And so, when I think about pawn shops, I always think of Barry. And of course, Barry's dead now, but he had took it over after his dad had it. But anyway, pawn shop. Yeah, well, that's something. I mean, I don't know how that go. I mean, half of it, Sammy. If you can pull that off, that's great. But you better know a lot about diamonds and jewelry, and you better understand that if you're going to take that in. Now, if you're just going to take in pawn and let them pawn, and if you got money like that to lend, yeah. Uh, hey, G, what's up, man? Yeah, well, I mean, the lottery is a great thing. As a felon, I can't have them in my shops, and but I we have Brandon and I have an associate that he's a good friend of ours. Mike's a good buddy of ours, and of course here in Kentucky, in our area here, we're not all in competition, man. We all know each other, and I'm real cool with them. And Mike and his wife are real good people. They also do lottery and they do bill pay as well. So, gee, if you can find out if you're able to take like electricity payments and water payments, maybe the cable bill, if you can take those too, they give you a percentage of those. So if you got $100 and you made $2 for every 100 you took in, okay, you know, and they pay. It's all done on right there at a little kiosk. They put it in, and if they give a check or a credit card, it all runs right there. They don't have to handle it. As I understand it, and they do pretty decent with that. And if you're gonna do it though, G, and you're gonna do the lottery, you should really look into bill pay while you're there, because if they'll let you take utility money, especially if they'll take that utility money they was going to kick back to you off your bill. Sounds like a win to me. I don't know that they do that to Mike and his lady, but I don't know if they do that. But uh, I would have to have Brandon ask them about that, because that'd be a great way to handle it. But I would at least inquire. What do you got to lose? But I think it's a good idea. This is a good conversation, y'all. Really, thinking about what else you can add to the store, and lottery is a good idea. The pawn shop's a little outside of what I would do because of the amount of money involved in it. But I mean, if Sammy knows about gold and diamonds, and if he knows about camera gear, and if he knows about lenses, and you can actually get on there and really understand, if there's any damage in the lens. You really need to know a lot about cameras before you start taking that shit in, because if a sensor is messed up in a camera, you won't know it until you turn it on and use it for 30-45 minutes. Okay. G says bill pay is not allowed. It's in my lease. Had to pull teeth to get approved for the landlord to do the lotto. That's crazy. But I was very persistent. It's a win for the whole strip. Yeah, for sure it is, man. But G, you're kind of a good dude, man. I don't know why he wouldn't have let you done that. I mean, honestly, man. I mean, you're kind of one of the nicer guys I've met within the industry. You're kind of a stand up guy, man. You are a stand up guy, and I was fortunate to meet a guy like you involved in this. And but I mean, honestly, that don't make sense why they wouldn't let you do bill pay. I mean, it's not like you're holding cash. I mean, unless you are, unless they allow that, and I'm sure some people would have to resort to cash, to do that. So, I mean, I guess that brings in a different kind of element within the center. So, I don't know, man. I mean, but as long as you can take the lottery, I guess that's cool. But man, the lottery's kind of dangerous too, man, because people like to come in there. Do you have to take the scratch offs and or are you going to do scratch offs as well? By the way, are you doing that, or are you going to have that in a kiosk? You're not going to do it like right there, and you pull down. Give me four of number five, or give me a 1, 3, 6, and 9, and then you ring it all up, as far as the scratch offs, or do you do it all in a kiosk? I'm not sure either, but my lease was the 63 pages. But when I had the lawyer review it, he redlined it to 53. The owner over 500 owns 500 properties, so he's very meticulous. Yeah, fuck. Well, at least you had an attorney look at it, and you didn't try to sift through it, because legalese on a lease can be fucked off. Really can, man. Sammy says, I do a few hundred a month in lottery. God, it's not bad, especially if you get into the automated machine. Yeah, because if they do it all, if it's just a kiosk and they go in and they do it all, and you don't have any say so in it, and the kiosk is what it is. Yeah, agreed. Agreed, man. That's the way to go. I like going into, like, we have gas stations here where they have the kiosk and you walk right in, man, and they feed their $20. I've watched them use credit cards on it, and I'm like, God, are you serious? But yeah, they are. They're very serious. G says, It's all good. We'll make it work. Prior to the smoke shop, my family's in the convenience store for 27. Was exactly, bro. So I mean, you know all about it, man. You know, oh, he's gonna do everything, man. He's gonna do the kiosk machine and the scratch off. Well, that's oh no, yeah, he's gonna do the where they put their own numbers in and things like that. I'm guessing. All right. No kiosk. No kiosk. So he's going to have the machine behind the counter and they're going to tell him, they're going to fill out their little form and bring it to you, I guess. I don't play the lottery, so I don't know. If I play the lottery, man, it's like some astronomical number and I go in with a $5 quick pick. I don't ever expect to win, but you can't win if you don't play. Yeah, it's all manual. Yeah, me too. I like it like that. But I do like that you can go in and use the machine for the scratch offs where they literally feed the 20s and the 50s and the hundreds and then the lottery people come in and they change it all out and you know you they show you the count on the tablet and then they kick you back X number of dollars. I saw them one time they had a computer and they set it down and it shit out a check out of a printer, handed it right over, and they signed off on it right there in front of them. And then they gave it to the manager. And then, of course, it was made out to Thornton's. I saw it done. And they handed it to her. She put it into an envelope and stuck it into the safe, and that was the end of it. I mean, of course, she didn't have no say so in it, right? But yeah, you're right. It's more personal that way when you do everything manual. You also get to know your customers, and while you're there, man, they may need some blunt wraps or papers or a lighter or some cigarettes or something like that, right? Yeah, exactly. It makes your customers come back. Kiosk are they are kind of impersonal. I agree, and but yeah, they those things they're everywhere in Kentucky, everywhere and you literally walk up and I mean you don't do your numbers that way. I haven't seen a kiosk for the numbers, but I have seen it for the scratch offs. And man, like sometimes there's a line, and I always thought to myself, "Wow, are you serious? There's that many people playing?" Because I don't see as many scratch off as I once did. I used to see people with them all the time, but now not so much. But I don't go into gas stations like that anymore. You know, I used to. Well, here, let me go these other things that we got here. Oh, plus I'm there all the time, and I'm leaving the front of the house. It's me and one part timer team member. Uh, yeah, our industry's a wreck. I agree. It's a mess. Let me tell you about this place in Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland. Here has also has the spacing and the shops, right? And yeah, gee, I know you are, man. You're a soldier. You're going to be here until they carry your dead body out the door. I totally agree. You are. I know you will be. But yeah, Baltimore also is doing this again. So this is more East Coast bullshit where they're doing the more of this and sign limits. All right. And these bills that are out there would push 1,500-foot spacing and restrict flashy signage. You know how you'll see the lines around the windows in some of the stores of lighting and all this, and they are moving to limit that. All right, and all the like framed as a youth access, right, and neighborhood issues. I mean, like they're really having a problem with this apparently, and you can expect that to balloon out and go in different directions as far as lighting and signage rules. And they'll be the next lever after the buffer situation, and you are going to see that. And it's not just going to be us, it's going to be everywhere else. So, I mean, just start thinking like that. I'm expecting these jokers to move it into Kentucky at any moment, but I don't have a lot of lighting outside the store anyway. I've got our store signage and everything. Not really worried so much about that, right? But so let's talk because I know we have the Ohio crowd in here, and apparently Ohio the hemp fight is going to court, right? And apparently, of course, it's been in court already. And the hemp affiliated businesses have sued your governor, by the way, and over his short term ban of intoxicating hemp. All right. And so that's out there. We're talking Delta 8, THCA, and a judge later paused that ban, right? At least temporarily. And they're reporting this. And let me tell you why this matters, because they're after the intoxicating hemp, y'all. And retailers are needing a consistent plan for this. And we really don't have this because, like here in Kentucky, January the 1st, we will go into a low dose hemp situation. So all the hemp that's out here right now is going to move to low dosage. But I mean, if DeWine has his way about it, they're going to get rid of hemp up there in Ohio. And if he has his say in it, which I don't know why that helps him in any way, because I sure would want that tax money off that, but whatever. That's ridiculous to me. It sounds it's a horrible plan that he's got there, and I hate that. I hate that he's pulling that old bullshit. But I mean, we're seeing that everywhere, And then this dumbass Mitch McConnell, which is our state senator, is up there trying to put in this bill that they're trying to get passed, for the clean CR. He's trying to put language in it where federally it will be illegal to get rid. It would just be completely gone. And I just can't figure out why he thinks that's a good idea. And it's mainly because he knows he can't get it in the farm bill. He can only get it pushed through this clean CR that they've got. And right now, the clean CR does not have this language in it, but he's trying to add it into it for some strange fucking reason. And so, what a dumbass, just a complete dumbass. Beth says that DeWine apparently and his orders won't be missed next November. Well, good, because the faster we can get these motherfuckers out of office, the better off we'll be. I don't understand why the banning of product. I mean, prohibition never, it doesn't do anything for people. Prohibition does not, if it's not hurting folks, what are we doing? I mean, if it's not. Now, if you got some product like 7-0, that kind of is, or if it's being marketed incorrectly, I mean, maybe it should be gotten rid of. But no two products in America kill more than tobacco, cigarettes, and alcohol. I cannot tell you of any case of marijuana death other than being killed for selling it or blah blah blah, that away. Nobody ODs on marijuana. Nobody. Nobody will probably truly OD on THCA flower. Nobody. But I mean, with some of the other stuff, man, I mean, if they adulterate it, if they amp the shit up and try to make it so high octane, and they add chemicals and more amplified product to it, I mean, you could probably hurt somebody that way. As far as with the Delta products, I don't know of any that's done that. I really don't. That they can prove that's how they did it. And so, was it in their system? Maybe. But I mean, can you prove that's what really did it, or do you use pseudoscience to figure that out? I can't see that that's it. Now, did it make you weird and make you feel weird? Maybe, maybe you don't drive a car when you're under the influence either, maybe that's a bad idea, for you to be all deltaed out. And next thing you know, you in a fast car, Tracy Chapman driving down the road, maybe you don't do that. It's just my opinion. But I'm just thinking, where in the hell would they have even found that? I mean, it's crazy. That guy, man, he's wild. He is just absolutely wild. But anyway, okay. Brandon, do you want to do a break here? You want to do a video? Because if you do, we need to do that because we're getting up in time. Hey, Chad Wade here. You need business funding? I got you, man. I got you. Altura Funding gets you term loans, lines of credit 0% business credit cards for up to 18 months, and a tool that shows you every funding option you probably qualify for. All right. So, no fees, no hard pull, 90 seconds to get pre approved. Hit the link right now. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't go get more coffee. That was a short one. So good. Okay. I did the right thing. Yay. All right. And okay. So I got another one here. I got another ad, or not another ad, another article. And this is more national news, right? And of course, this plays into what we're talking about. And this is more scrutiny on intoxicating hemp. All right. And when Brandon gets this up, there you go. Industry voices are warning that state level restrictions could gut the category. Uh, Kira's KERA uh, piece sums up the trend. All right. Now remember, this was back in June. All right. And why this matters, because they're talking about like patchwork rules. All right. And it equals like an inventory issue for everybody. And all this label scrutiny and apparently whiplash for buyers. And so they're wanting us in the industry to get rid of these cartoon like images on here. They're wanting us to get rid of anything that looks like candy, but gummies look like candy, y'all. And they want them to be clear. They don't want them to have any color. They have a whole lot that they're talking about in this article. I really do think you should look at this, because if they don't gut the industry, this is kind of where we're going. And if we're not careful, everything is going to look like the Florida compliant stuff. All right. And it's going to be clear gummies. It's going to have a square type definition. It's not going to, or a triangle. It's not going to have any kind of worms or any kind of teddy bear looking thing, like gummy bears. And it's not going to look like candy at all. It's just going to have a very blah look. But I mean, if the effects there, great. But I mean, like states like Kentucky ain't going to matter, because they're going to go low dose anyway. And low dose always equals death. Because how do you go from a 20,000, milligram gummy down to a 25 milligram gummy? Nobody does that. Nobody. Right. That's like you owned a Lamborghini and you're down to a Ford Escort, and you got to be old enough to remember a Ford Escort. So that shows my age, but I know we've got some older group in here at times. But still, I mean, I don't know how you would do that. I really don't. I really don't. But really, it's inevitable, because I truly believe the feds are moving to legalize marijuana. I really do. But I think you're going to, that's going to come with you being able to grow your own product. So many only have so many plants in the ground at a time. And if you've got, and I'm not talking like outside, I'm talking like inside on a table, or in buckets, and you got a clean room, and metal halide, and high pressure sodium, whatever you're using, and you're going to have your own stuff. But I think you're going to be able to go to licensed dispensaries if your state allows it, and of course they will, because they'll be getting the tax money, and then of course there'll be a federal excise tax on it as well. And I think they're going to need that to pay off this 30 plus trillion dollars in debt that we are. And I think you're going to need a lot of things, man. And I think that that's where they're moving towards. And but in order to do that, you have to get what's in the way out of the way, which is hemp. And again, I know that's not what anybody wants to hear, but it's going to move it out of the smoke shop realm anyway. And so where you may think, hey, I would never take fucking lottery in my store. Maybe you should look into it. Where I might not have a pawn shop in my store. maybe you should look into it. Maybe not even a pawn shop, maybe something else. I mean, even a cigar lounge. Do you have a section that you could make a cigar lounge into? Do you have a section that you could, I don't know, turn into, records and music? Do you have a section that you could, start selling, hi-fi, units, and start selling that type of shit? Do you have a place that you could sell different type funky anime products? Maybe even pop Funko Pop stuff. Maybe just maybe you could even sell some books. I mean, I know a guy that wrote one, you know. But anyway, maybe you could sell, have books in there, maybe even on topic, maybe even on music. Maybe you could sell albums, and change out the albums. Maybe you have full blown anime and things of that nature, man. Oh yeah, Kava bar too, man. Geez, right there. Kava bars are a big deal, but that's more of a southern thing. And so I don't know how that would go here in the north, but people are starting to ask for kava product. So I'm starting to see more of that within my own customers at the wholesale. They're talking more about it. They're asking more about it. They're starting to listen, which is pivot, and start trying to find other products that are out there to keep us all going, right? But real quick, we're coming at the top of the hour. Let me talk about this last article about the FDA and what they're doing, and I don't want to cut that down. And but anyway, the FDA is kind of hinting with language that flavored vapes could be authorized, and CTP's acting director said the agency may authorize additional products soon. No guarantees, but a notable shift in tone. Okay. So if any flavored SKUs was to get through the PMTA, it resets part of the category. Okay. So what that means is other other vapes that were denied might be able to reapply because these other vapes got through that were flavored. So your Geek Bar, your Mr. Fog, all these that have already been cut, your Lost Marys that have already been cut, they might be able to get out there and reapply. And I know that that was a big deal, but like, Sammy was talking about with PA saying, well, no, fuck it. We don't want them at all in our state. And, Kentucky has done the same thing. So if we're keeping it real, there ain't much hope there, bro. There just ain't much hope. And I mean, that's not good for us. That's not good for him and so many others. That's not going to be a good deal. And so I'm just thinking, it kind of is what it is at this point. And I hate that, but what can I do? You know, and what can any of us do but try to get through it as best we can and just get through. But we must learn to pivot. We must start looking at our store. Hey, this is an area that we're not selling a whole lot of shit in, which we're starting to do that now in my stores. And so it's not just you all. I'm leading by example here. We are cutting things out. I'm taking some games out of the stores, things that aren't moving anymore, things that they're not putting quarters or dollars into anymore. And I started selling that today. I sold 2 big machines today. I've got listings on Facebook Market for some others. And no, I'm not going to ship them. If you can't come get them, forget it. So let's don't talk about that. I got some crane machines I'm getting rid of, and we're changing. We're changing what we're doing. I'm not selling a lot of cigars, so we're taking those things out of some of them, and we're slimming. We're not taking them completely out. We're slimming them down. Our offerings, like today, we took half a store out of our main store. We took half the section out, and so now we have an empty section that we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with it. But it is what it is there. And so Brandon spent the better part of this morning and part of the afternoon down there dealing with that. And That's just the way it is, man. And we've already started making some moves, and maybe you should too. You should really look your stores over, and you should really pay attention. Hey, man, I'm not selling these hookahs anymore. Or I'm not selling, whatever, or I'm not selling enough incense to justify all this room that I've got for it. What else could you put in there? Could you build some displays, out of cheap wood, or could you buy some of that cheap furniture at Walmart, put it together and throw it up there and start using them for display cases for, I don't know, maybe Wiccan things like runes, and maybe even some uh, sweetgrass, or some smudge, stuff. I don't know. Maybe even you sell the Harry Potter wands or some shit. Maybe you sell altar boxes. Maybe you get into that a little bit. You have to start advertising that though. But I mean, start looking into these new different products. We sell quite a few boxes, little wooden decorative boxes and little gift items. We sell quite, at the wholesale. I mean, we also sell them at the stores. We're starting to sell a whole lot more like backflow cone burners. If you don't know what backflow is, instead of burning up, they shoot down through a hole in the cone, and it shoots through the bottom, and it makes this real cool looking smoke effect, on the burner. And we're starting to sell a lot of that. And if you're not selling that now, and you're finding some slow sales, well, the holidays is coming up, boys and girls. You might want to start thinking about that. You might want to start thinking about, hey, do I have some items in here I could, that people would buy as gifts that aren't pipes or vapes or Delta or what, or Kratom or some shit like that. I think it's necessary. I think we need to become more of a hub for gift giving, and I mean, you're going to have to pivot. Well, and I'm doing it myself, so I'm not just talking out my ass here and telling you what to do. I'm already doing it. And so maybe you guys want to look into it. I'm not saying lotteries for everybody, but maybe it is. But it's not, apparently it's not very easy to get approved for either, y'all. So don't kid yourself about that. You're not just going to call them up and say, "Hey, can I get a lottery machine in here?" It's really not that easy. They're going to do a whole background check on you and everything. So that's no joke. But all right, everybody. So look, we've been at this for about over an hour now. It's an hour and 3 minutes, is what it says. And guys, I really appreciate everything. If you need some merchandise for your stores, unswholesale.com. I'll be more than happy to push you a small or a large order, whatever you need in there. I'll be glad to do it. We have a lot of new product in stock right now. We just got a whole bunch of new things in today. We got our new juicy selection has come back in, so we got a restock of that. That just literally walked in the door today before we left, and we got that up, so it's on. It's already live on the website. Should you need that, and also the blunted cones. We've got 5 flavors of that, and until you try the blunted cones with those glass tips, wow. And I didn't think they would take off the way they have in the stores, in our stores, but they really have. Like, people are buying whole boxes. That's crazy, but whatever, man. I'm can't wait to sell them to you. So, but I am seeing a whole lot of them, and we are seeing a lot of mushroom products being sold in the wholesale, and so people are starting to take off on those. It may just be where the market's going, as well as the Blue Lotus. The Blue Lotus pre rolls are selling really well right now. Again, I'm not selling to you. I'm just telling you what we're selling a lot of. And so go look at that. Get online, set up. If you don't have an account already, go set up an account. Me, Grover, Brandon, we'll be glad to help you out. We can be your rep, and of course, anything we can do to help you, we will. Also, if you need some consultation for your store and you need a little one-on-one, maybe I can help you out a little bit. Go to chadwaytv.com and check that out as well. And again, don't forget, I wrote a book. You can pick that thing up on Amazon, right? And I'll be glad. It's not, it's not real thick. You can read this in a day, weekend, whatever. Maybe you set it right by the toilet, and every time you go take a douche, you can thumb through it. Maybe pick up a few stories. But anyway, I'll be glad to do that. Brandon put the link over there for that. And if you want one of those, that'd be awesome. All right. Well, look, y'all. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you don't forget, y'all. Thanksgiving's coming up. Halloween just over. And anyway, we did the Halloween special. If you didn't catch it, 2 days, 10 stories in it. Pretty good stuff. We had a good time. I'm glad all my shop owners did that. And thank you. And next time you can do it too, right? And G, I appreciate you too, bro. And I appreciate everybody that comes in, Beth and Tip Top and Sammy. I appreciate you all being part of the conversation. Thank you so much. Uh, yeah, we do got this, y'all. Don't fucking give up. We are going to get through this, man. I don't want to sound like my governor who liked to, during COVID, he would get together and he would say, we will get through this together. Well, we are going to get through this together. And we really are. Join the Discord, y'all. Really get in there and talk to the other owners that's in there, man. Some of these people are really fighting to keep this going, and they are working very fucking hard. And I really think we should all get together and support each other with it. I have been negative in the past with it, y'all. I really have, because I'm pessimistic with this motherfucker. But I know that if I get my chin up and you guys can keep me up with it and I can keep you up with it, we can all support one another. And so I'm making a certified effort to try to be more positive about it. And because I know we all need the help. And I know that if I can't expect you to do it if I don't do it first. So that's what I'm looking at it now. And I'm looking at things a whole lot different. And I'm going to be here to support you all 100%. And I'm going to stay in here with this. And we're going to keep this fight going till we kill every one of these motherfuckers out of the way. Not really, but figuratively, right? All right, y'all. Beth, have a great week too, hon. I appreciate you so much. Your governor in Ohio would need to go on a very long vacation together. Yeah, well, if they did, they would probably, you know, whatever, bro. Anyway, them two, they're peas in a pod. That's why they're so close in the same state together, you know. But I bet they would share a bed. But whatever. I'm not here to judge. Okay, y'all. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Finish the fucking week strong. Do not give up. If you got issues, man, hit me up. AskChadWade@gmail.com. Please don't go through this by yourself. Join the Discord. It costs you nothing to join the Discord. Now, if you want to be on the Patreon and help old brother out, that'd be cool too. But it costs you nothing to be on the Discord. Please, we are here for you guys. We want to help you. I swear I do. And if I can, again, hit me up at askchadwade@gmail.com. If you got problems, man, I can help you with them. I really can. All right, guys, have a great week. Bless your hearts, every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you that come every week. I really, every time you all show up, man, I feel blessed. I really do. Thank you so much, y'all. I love y'all. If you need help, I'm here for you. Bye.